LA Theatre Works presents Ever Yours, Oscar, performed by Brian Bedford and compiled by Peter Wylde. Ever Yours, Oscar tells the story of Oscar Wilde's life through his letters, revealing little-known aspects of the man whose timeless works range from the Picture of Dorian Gray to the Importance of Being Earnest. Brian Bedford, the late Tony Award-winning actor, brings Wilde's words to life in this unique, engaging performance. And now, Ever Yours, Oscar.
At the age of 14, Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wylde writes home from Portora School, the exclusive establishment to which his affluent parents have sent him and his elder brother Willie. Their mother, Lady Jane Francesca Wylde, had been a formidable leader of the Young Ireland movement 20 years earlier, writing inflammatory articles and poems under the name of Speranza. Darling Mamma, the hamper came today. I never got such a jolly surprise. Many thanks for it. It was more than kind of you to think of it. Don't please forget to send me the National Review. The flannel shirts you sent in the hamper are both Willie's. Mine are one quite scarlet and the other lilac, but it is too hot to wear them yet. You never told me anything about the publisher in Glasgow. What does he say? And have you written to Aunt Warren on the green notepaper? At 22, a magnificently dandified undergraduate of Magdalen College, Oxford, Oscar writes to a fellow student, William Ward. A born Protestant, Oscar will flirt with Roman Catholicism all his life. The poem referred to, Aurora Leigh, is by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. My dear boy, I confess not to be a worshipper at the Temple of Reason. I think man's reason the most misleading and thwarting guide that the sun looks upon, except perhaps the reason of woman. Faith is, I think, a bright lantern for the feet, though of course an exotic plant in man's mind and requiring continual cultivation. My mother would probably agree with you, except for the people, for whom she thinks dogma necessary. She rejects all forms of superstition, particularly any notion of priest and sacrament standing between her and God. She has a very strong faith in that aspect of God we call the Holy Ghost, the divine intelligence of which we on earth partake. Here she is very strong, though of course at times troubled by the discord and jarring of the world, when she takes a dip into pessimism. Her last pessimist, Schopenhauer, says the whole human race ought on a given day, after a strong remonstrance, firmly but respectfully urged on God, to walk into the sea and leave the world tenantless. But of course some skulking wretches would hide and be left behind to people the world again, I am afraid. I wonder you don't see the beauty and necessity for the incarnation of God into man, to help us to grasp at the skirts of the infinite. The atonement is, I admit, hard to grasp, but I think since Christ, the dead world has woke up from sleep. Since him we have lived. I think the greatest proof of the incarnation aspect of Christianity is its whole career of noble men and thoughts, and not the mere narration of unauthenticated histories. I send you this letter and a book together. I wonder which you will open first. It is Aurora Leigh, which I think you said you had not read. It is one of those books that, written straight from the heart, and from such a large heart too, never weary one, because they are sincere. We tire of art, but not of nature, after all our aesthetic training. I look upon it as much the greatest work in our literature. I rank it with Hamlet and In Memoriam. So much do I love it that I hated the idea of sending it to you without marking a few passages I felt you would well appreciate, and I found myself marking the whole book. I'm really very sorry. It's like being given a bouquet of plucked flowers instead of being allowed to look for them oneself. But I could not resist the temptation. The only fault is that she overstrains her metaphors till they snap. And although one does not like polished emotion, still she is inartistically rugged at times. As she says herself, she shows the mallet hand in carving cherry stones. I ride sometimes after 6, but don't do much but bathe. And although always feeling slightly immortal when in the sea, feel sometimes slightly heretical when good Roman Catholic boys enter the water with little amulets and crosses round their necks and arms, that the good St. Christopher may hold them up. I am now off to bed, after reading a chapter of St. Thomas à Kempis. I think half an hour's warping of the inner man daily is greatly conducive to holiness. Pray remember me to your mother and sisters. Ever yours, Oscar F.O.F. Wills Wylde. Post-scriptum. You don't deserve such a long letter, but I must tell you that I met Mr. Rigaud and his brother the General swaggering up Grafton Street here yesterday. I had a long talk with them, and the General told me yarns by the dozen about the time he was quartered here with the 16th Battalion, sir. Damn me, sir, we were the best corps in the regiment. Service gone to the dogs. Not a well-drilled soldier in the country, sir. Florence Balcombe, a 17-year-old beauty, is one of Oscar's early flirtations. Dear Florrie, as I shall be going back to England, probably for good in a few days, I should like to bring with me the little gold cross I gave you one Christmas morning long ago. I need hardly say that I would not ask it from you if it was anything you valued. But worthless though the trinket be, to me it serves as a memory of 2 sweet years, the sweetest of all the years of my youth, and I should like to have it always with me. Though you have not thought it worth while to let me know of your marriage, still I cannot leave Ireland without sending you my wishes that you may be happy. Whatever happens, I at least cannot be indifferent to your welfare. The currents of our lives flowed too long beside one another for that. We stand apart now, but the little cross will serve to remind me of the days, and though we shall never meet again after I leave Ireland, I shall always remember you at prayer. Adieu, and God bless you. Oscar. Oscar, now 28, is on his famous American lecture tour. He writes from St. Louis to his manager, who precedes him in each city. Dear Colonel Morse, will you kindly go to a good theatrical costumier for me and get them to make, you will not mention my name, 2 coats to wear at matinees and perhaps in the evening. They should be beautiful, tight velvet doublet with large flowered sleeves and little ruffs of cambric coming up from under the collar. I send you design and measurements. They should be ready at Chicago on Saturday for the matinee there, at any rate the black one. Any good costumier would know what I want. Sort of Francis I dress, only knee breeches instead of long hose. Also, get me 2 pair of grey silk stockings to suit my grey mouse-coloured velvet. The sleeves are to be flowered, if not velvet then plush, and stamped with large pattern. They will excite a great sensation. They were dreadfully disappointed at Cincinnati at my not wearing knee breeches. Truly yours, Oscar Wilde. The following is really parts of 3 different letters Oscar wrote on his tour. March 1882, San Francisco. Here from the uttermost end of the great world
Sample complete. Ready to continue?